Welcome back to another episode of Healthy Living. I am Dr. Beth Greene from New Life Chiropractic right here in Haverhill. Our mission at New Life Chiropractic is to provide gentle chiropractic care in a comfortable, nurturing environment. We strive to offer hope, restore health, and invoke inspiration. Our purpose is to help and educate as many families as possible to become active participants in their health and well-being while providing superior quality service. I'm super excited about my guest today. Dr. Doug Fryday and his wife, Dr. Deborah Fudge, are both passionate chiropractors and wellness lifestyle experts. After practicing in Ontario, Canada, for 32 years, Dr. Doug recently relocated to southern New Hampshire to be with his wife, Deborah. While treating thousands of patients over the years, both doctors have seen the innate ability of the body's ability to heal itself from the inside out when the brain-body connection is optimized through chiropractic care and lifestyle choices. It is exciting to know that by feeding the endocannabinoid, can you help me?
Cannabinoid.
Thank you. I should have practiced that one. System with quality CBD, that the self-healing properties of the body are optimized, and health and wellness and longevity are possible. While Dr. Deborah Fudge is currently seeing patients, please welcome half of the dynamic team, Dr. Doug Fryday. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and that is a hard word to say. I should have practiced it.
Endocannabinoid.
Thank you. And so that's what we'll be talking about today. So CBD. So Dr. Doug, why don't you start off by telling us your story?
Well, my story, like you said, I practiced in Canada.
Yeah.
And then I moved down here to be with my wife. And then we, both of our offices, we would get people in asking us about CBD. And at the start of that, maybe 4 years ago, it just started to come on the radar. We had to really start to research that. And then you bring on the opioid epidemic, which has hit home personally for both my wife and I. So we thought, you know what, we should get involved with this and offer our patients a good quality professional CBD product. So that began our journey, which happened about 3 years ago in the making until now. We've just launched, February we launched our online e-commerce store selling CBD products. And we are just this week launched it to chiropractic affiliates so that they can offer the same quality product to their patients.
Yeah, I'm so thankful you did that, because as a chiropractor, I don't know where to refer my patients either, and now I have somewhere to refer them that I know it's quality and it's looked into as well. So there's a lot of questions and confusion about CBD. So what is the difference between the hemp plant and the marijuana plant?
Well, the best analogy we can use there is take a lemon and a lime, right? They're both citrus. They're from the citrus family, but they're very different in their taste and their quality. And that's the same with hemp and the marijuana plant. They're from the same family, but they're both very different in their makeup. Marijuana having a high content of THC, and THC is a psychoactive ingredient that produces that euphoria or high. And hemp has a very low percentage of THC. In fact, to be legal, it is 0.3% or less in the plant for it to be actually legal.
Okay.
So you have a high content of CBD and a very low percentage of THC in the hemp plant. Marijuana plant, it's the reverse.
Gotcha. Thank you. That helps a lot too. So what is the full spectrum CBD oil?
Well, the full spectrum, it is the hemp, all of the hemp plant. So you get your CBD in it, you get terpenes, you get flavonoids. Terpenes would be like in an essential oil, the smells. And then the flavonoids, the whole entire plant is what we call full spectrum. And it does have 0.3% or less THC in it. Now we have an isolate product, that is 99.9% CBD. Everything else is taken out, plus the THC is taken out. So it's THC free. You cannot get high from that. You cannot get high from the other one as well. And that's one of the big myths or the big questions because of the confusion between the hemp plant and the marijuana plant.
Yeah, and also, because I don't know if we made it clear for our audience, so your CBD product from your company is coming from hemp only.
Yes.
Is that correct? Just to be clear.
Yep,
a lot
industrial
of
hemp.
people think it's just marijuana and then the oil comes out of it. So, okay, so from the hemp plant. Okay, great, excellent. So you talked about the isolate. So why buy InsideOut CBD products?
I think because of the quality of it.
Yes.
I mean, right now there is, you can get CBD at the corner package store or at a gas station. And the problem with it, because it's like the wild, wild west. It's so new that there's a lot of people jumping on board here. And unfortunately, a lot of product out there is not very good. So, when you're thinking about purchasing CBD oils, or capsules, you really need, I think, to research and to make sure you have a good quality product. And one of the big things you should investigate is, does the company provide an analysis of that product from a third party? And obviously we do that. But what that does is it shows you exactly what's in the product and what's not in the product. What's in it is you want to know the percentage of CBD in it, the different types of CBD, because there is different types, the percentage of THC as well. And the things you don't want in it are things like heavy metals, molds, etc. These things are, obviously aren't good for us.
Right.
And a lot of product out there, they're not getting it third-party tested, and there's a lot of that stuff in it, simply because the hemp plant is what they call, so is a marijuana plant too, a bioaccumulator. So it sucks everything out of the soil, both good and bad. So if it's grown in non-organically or in a soil that has heavy metals or pesticides, etc., that gets up into the plant. So it's important to, one, have it organically grown, and two, have it third-party tested.
And I'm assuming your product is?
Yeah, it's organic, U.S. grown, mainly Colorado and Kentucky.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know exactly where it's coming from too.
Yeah.
And like anything in, especially the health world, if there's a new product, they just slap that label on everybody, and everybody thinks, but they're not, we don't know how much we're getting in the quality. So at least, yours is quality.
And there was a TV show, I think, and they went out and they grabbed 10 products.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it was in Mass or New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And they tested what was in it, and I think one or two of them had what the label said was in it, the rest didn't.
Right.
So it's really buyer beware. You have to.
Yes.
You have to, and I mean that also, you can get products that are very inexpensive, and these are the products that they may be mostly olive oil,
right,
or some other oil, and not really hemp oil.
Right. Exactly.
So you got to beware.
Yes, absolutely. So what is the difference? I think we might have said that between hemp and marijuana. You went into that, right?
Yep.
Will consuming InsideOut CBD products make you high?
Definitely not.
Okay.
I mean, there's no possibility that you can.
Great, excellent. And are InsideOut pure hemp and CBD products legal?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Because it's so new.
Yeah.
From what I understand, with the 2018 Farm Bill that was just passed, federally, yes. Hemp oil from industrial hemp is definitely legal federally, but then you need the states to catch up with that. Mass, New Hampshire, Mass, I know it's legal. New Hampshire is kind of a gray area. So it's up to the, again, buyer to be okay with that, and buyer beware.
Right,
that.
Exactly. So what is the difference between the full spectrum and the isolate, or why would you want one over the other? Okay.
Yeah, and that's a great question too, because and that's a hard question too, especially if we get into asking me about dosage and what would you use, what problem would you use. a specific product for, as opposed to another condition.
Yeah.
But easily, full spectrum is everything from the full plant, mainly the leaves and the flowers.
Okay.
So it's got everything in it. It's got, like I said before, it's got CBDs, different CBDs in it, the small percentage of THC. It has flavonoids and all the good rest of the plant.
Mm-hmm.
The isolate is they pull all that out and you're just left with 99.9% CBD.
Okay.
Now there's varying opinions out there on what one is better than the other, or if one is better than the other, and what you would use it for. The full spectrum, if you were worried about a drug test, we talked about this earlier, you would stay away from the full spectrum because it has a minor, minute amount of THC.
Right.
And possibly over time using it, it might build up enough to ping a drug test.
Okay.
I really don't think so from the research I've done, but you wouldn't want to risk that.
Right.
So if that's an issue, you would go to the isolate, which has no THC in it.
Great. And how much CBD should I take, or a person take, and how do we know that? So
yeah, and again, that's a good question and a hard question. It's a lot of experimentation from the person that's using it, because everybody's different.
Yeah.
And when we talk about the endocannabinoid system, it's so unique in each one of us. It's like our fingerprints. They're very, very unique. So what amount would help somebody to get their therapeutic results with it? The other person may need less, or they may need more. You know, I wish I could say, you know, take 20 drops of this, you know, 3 times a day, and you're good to go.
Right.
But unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. And I can give an example of myself, because I consume the product. I was taking an amount of the full spectrum in the morning and an amount at night. And what I was finding was I was getting really sleepy during the day. And so I investigated that. I have a friend that's a medical doctor researcher with CBD. So I was asking him about it, and he said, you're probably very susceptible to the THC in it. Almost like, you know, marijuana does. People have different reactions to that. So it was actually making me tired in the day. So he said, change it up and take your full spectrum at night, so that would help you sleep. And then in the morning, take your isolate, because the isolate tends to, somebody that has, you know, problems with THC, the isolate makes you more focused. So
which is a great thing.
So I did that, and that was, you know, it worked out fine for me.
Yes.
So you can see it's just a varying, it's very personal.
And I didn't bring this up to begin with. I think because we're both chiropractors, we assume the reason most chiropractors are interested in CBD is because it gives patients an alternative to taking a pharmaceutical or ibuprofen or Advil, which can really cause damage in the body, whereas this isn't really causing damage. So I didn't really bring that up, but that's really what most people want the CBD. People just want to sleep more restfully. People in chronic pain, you know, people with all sorts of disorders, from seizures to cancers and things like that, to nausea. So that's really why chiropractors embrace that. So I forgot to bring that up. So.
Yeah, and that's like I said, that's one of the big reasons we got into it, was the opioid. We wanted an alternative to pharmaceuticals for our patients for acute pain and chronic pain.
Yes.
It works marvelously for that. The other 2 big things is insomnia and anxiety. I mean, we're living in this pressure cooker world now, and we're seeing anxiety in children, which is crazy. And insomnia, you know, as well. So it really works well for that.
Yeah, and it's great not to have to go to a pharmaceutical, especially a child.
Exactly.
You know, or anyone for that. So how do I take the CBD?
Well, there's a number of ways. We have an oil.
Yep.
That's to me the most effective way to take it. And you take it sublingually, so under your tongue, dropper, and you let it sit there for 30 to 60 seconds, and then it's absorbed, and it's absorbed right away into your bloodstream, as opposed to taking a capsule that, you know, has to go through your digestive system, your liver, etc.
Right.
And it kind of waters down the amount that you get, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody, some people don't like the oil, or they maybe have an adverse whatever to
Mm-hmm.
taking it. So
Yep.
we do have the capsules. They
Okay.
also make edibles and things like that. We don't sell any of the
Mm-hmm.
edibles as of yet. But there's different ways. There's also vaping, which I really don't recommend, but I know there is a lot of people out there.
Because it goes into your lungs, you mean?
Well, because it goes into your lungs,
Yeah.
but in fact, vaping actually is probably the quickest way to get the CBD into your system.
Okay.
Because it goes into your lungs.
Okay.
But the problem with vaping, and especially if you don't have a good quality oil,
Yep.
there could be all kinds of additives in there, and again, getting into your lungs, to me, it's kind of counterproductive.
Right. Yeah.
So there's lots of companies out there that sell vape oil, but
Right.
we just chose not to do that.
All right. Excellent.
Yeah.
What if I don't like the taste of the oil, or we went over that? We could take the capsules instead.
You could, but we also have a peppermint.
Oh.
So if you don't
Oh,
like
nice.
the taste of the oil, which to me it tastes like kind
Plant.
of olive oil,
Or, right, yeah.
earthy a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't mind it, but some people do.
Right.
So we do have the peppermint. There are other companies that have all kinds of different flavors.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
that's
Good
an
to know.
alternative. Yeah.
Can CBD products cause side effects?
Not really. I mean,
Mhm.
if you were to take a pailful,
Yeah.
you would obviously get, gut distress, that
Yeah.
type of thing. In my case, when I was kind of allergic to the THC part of it, you could get tired.
Okay.
So to me, those are probably the big two: is
Right.
gastrointestinal distress,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe some tiredness.
Gotcha.
But on the amounts that a normal person would take, there really isn't any side effects.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
And is a standard hemp seed oil that you could buy in Whole Foods, say,
Yeah.
the same as your InsideOut PCR CBD hemp oil?
Yeah, and no, it isn't. I
Okay.
mean, hemp seed oil is very good for you,
Yeah.
nutritionally,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have high content CBD. Very, very low content CBD.
Gotcha.
Our oils are,
Yeah.
again, mainly from the flowers and the leaves,
Yep.
and very high content CBD, and
Okay.
that's what you want.
Right. That's another great question because it's confusing, the hemp,
Yeah.
if I just buy my own oil and things like that too. So,
Yeah.
Also, is there anything else we forgot to talk about, or you want to add in
Well,
there?
I
We have a little time
I
here.
think we should talk about
Yeah.
the endocannabinoid system,
Yes.
that word that's really hard to say. And when I went to chiropractic college, and I think probably when you went,
Yep.
we didn't even learn about the endocannabinoid
No.
system. In fact, it wasn't really discovered till the 90s. And when we went to school, the focus was on the brain,
Yes.
right? Your brain controls everything.
Mm-hmm.
But in fact, what they're finding with the endocannabinoid system is it actually controls and is the master controller of all the other systems in the body. So it looks after making sure the nervous system, your skin system, your digestive system, your hormonal system, it looks after keeping those all in check and making sure they're all working synergistically together. And what happened was in 1937, there was the Marijuana Act, which basically prohibited anybody from growing marijuana and made it illegal. Now, unfortunately, at that time, hemp got thrown in there along with that. And we know the difference now. We've talked about the difference about marijuana and hemp. They're totally different, but yet they're from the same family. So as a result, it got thrown in there. And prior to that, the major cash crop in North America and in Europe was hemp. So it was being fed to all our livestock. So as a result, we were getting it in our system, and we were feeding our endocannabinoid systems. But come 1937, all of a sudden, boom, it's gone. We're not getting that fed into our endocannabinoid systems, and as a result, the profession has come up with endocannabinoid clinical deficiency syndrome. So we are actually deficient in it.
Very interesting.
Much
Vitamins and minerals, or
well, much like vitamin D,
yeah.
right? Where you know, if you're deficient in D, you get rickets,
yes,
and the bones become brittle. Yep. Vitamin C and scurvy, the same idea. So that's why I think we're getting such good results when we start to take CBD and feed our endocannabinoid systems. Now the endocannabinoid system makes all the other systems that may be causing us to be sick or have ill health in whatever system.
Or just out of balance.
Out of balance, right? It's causing a balance there. So that's why you're seeing this huge broad spectrum of results when people start taking it. Because people say they take it for insomnia, but all of a sudden they say, well, my skin's better, you know, or my hair's thicker, or my nails are, you know. It's amazing when you start to think about after you've been consuming it for a while,
right?
You know, how it helps you overall in health. And I think the trend will be, I feel in the years to come, that it'll be an everyday thing, like we take a multivitamin,
right, especially if we're all deficient.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
And if it's balancing us out, because that's really the name of the game. We want our body in balance to have better health. So yeah, excellent.
It's all about health potential. How do we maximize our health potential?
Yes.
Right, and that's, you know, we look at lifestyle. We make sure through chiropractic our brain-body communication is optimized.
Yep.
You know, you got to move, you got to eat properly, fuel, all those good things.
Yep.
And I think this is just going to be one of those things that we add into our lifestyle.
Yeah, it's amazing. So amazing. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Doug, for coming on my show, Healthy Living, and demystifying all the talk about CBD. I myself have learned so much today, and I hope our viewers did as well. If you have any further questions about CBD, Dr. Doug Fryday would be happy to answer any and all questions you have. You have a couple different options. You can email him at info@InsideOutSolutions.com. Is it? Yeah, .com, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And their website is InsideOutSolutions.com. So there's a lot of information on there. And I'm Dr. Beth Greene from New Life Chiropractic here in Haverhill. I also, if you have any questions for me, I'm happy to answer any of the questions. And you can email me at drbeth@newlifechiropractic.com or contact me through my website, newlifechiropractic.net. Oh, it's newlifechiropractic.net. Sorry about that. Again, I'm Dr. Beth Greene, helping people one spine at a time. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Yeah.